You don't like feminism, but you started it. Hi, I am Andy Cueva, and welcome to Purpose Made Podcast, where we're blending a little bit of faith, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship. So today, the topic is feminism. Now, to start in the right foot, I want to explain. I am totally okay with the original meaning of feminism, where it started. Where women were fighting for their rights, basic rights, voting, and stuff like that. Totally up for it. The issue is when it started getting twisted, where they stopped fighting for equality and they started fighting for like sameness with men. And that's where everything got twisted. Now, I do think men played a huge part in it. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is today, in the world that we live in, we see a lot of issues with feminism on both sides. A lot of girls that want to be independent, they don't need a man, they don't want a man, they don't, they can do everything by themselves. And fair, I totally agree with that in a way. But to say that you are just as equal as men is from it's the same other way, like the other way. So me as a man, I cannot say, hey, I can do everything a woman can do. Sure, maybe if I work hard, I can do both things, but is it good? Is it normal? Is it natural? I don't think so. Now, I do believe that, and the reason why I said you don't like feminism, but you started it, I'm mainly talking to men. Now hear me out. If you're a man, and by men I mean not boys. Talking about men. Now boys could be there are 40-year-old boys, 50-year-old boys. The same way I know people that are 19, 20-year-old and they're already men. They have the good values that they need. They work hard. They have everything figured out in their lives already where it comes down to like faith, career, family. The same way there are 50-year-old dudes out there that still don't know what they want in life. Those are boys. So I'm talking about men. I believe most of the girls, most of the women nowadays that fight for this independence, for this feminism push, probably got hurt at some point in their lives by a toxic boy or man. Sure, you could say man. But what do I mean by this? I believe that the difference in between a boy and a man is kind of the difference of knowing when you have to be, because I think men can be like in the Bible, you can be the lion, you can be the lamb, right? I believe men have the discernment, the wisdom to know when they need to be the lion and when they need to be the lamb. So, being a man doesn't mean that you have to be aggressive towards your partner or all the time, and that means you being a man. I believe that being a man means knowing how to control that lion, even though your partner might be trying to cause that aggression or bring it. Being a man is knowing that even though she's trying to do that, you're not gonna bring the lion. And then we can dig dig deeper into that with like respect to each other and all that stuff. But I can tell you as an example, if today my fiance comes here and it's just raging at me and like super mad for no reason, and it's just to the extreme, like just trying to push it, I could easily turn around and just react physically, and that would be the end of it. Now, what am I gonna win from there? From that? Nothing. I'm just gonna be a boy. And so being a man means if that's the case, then I'm gonna be even more calm and try to bring her down to understand what is the reason behind this. And then once that's calm, then I can talk to my partner and be like, hey, you don't do that. That is not respectful. If you would like me, if you would like me to respect you, I need respect from you. But I know people that today they still live in this, they're in these relationships where it's just, and like close people, they're like, she screams at him and then he screams back at her, and that's just the way they communicate. And I just don't see anything productive coming from there. Nothing. I don't. So I think what we need to change today, and I'm talking as a man today, is or I don't want to come off the wrong way or sound cocky because I'm saying I am a man. I have a lot of flaws. I have a lot of issues. I have, like, I can be vulnerable and be like, hey, I have screamed at my girl. I did it once, and the next day she spoke with me, and I was like, I am sorry. I'll never do it again. So far, I have not done it again. That was at the beginning of our relationship, and that was it for me. I learned. And so I'm not trying to be like the perfect example or no that I fail, but that's also part of it. Knowing that you're gonna fail, but that doesn't mean that's gonna be the normal. That means that you need to change and there's things that you need to focus on. Now, little topics that I wrote down and I feel like are the what broken masculinity is, and it's anger without control, strength without purpose, and leadership without love. I think those are like the main differences of in a relationship, a boy and a man. We need to know when to be the lion and when to be the lamb. And for the most part, I don't think you should ever be the lion towards your partner, but you should be the lion that protects her. But with her, you're gonna be the lamb that helps her, and it's just a team, you know. And so that is like my reasoning behind why there's feminism movement is one of them. I think it's one of the biggest ones is girls that have been hurt, um, past relationships or parents, bad parenting, and that makes them have that push towards like, nope, I don't need a man. I can do everything by myself. Fair, but we are not the same. And I'm sorry if right now you still think that men and women are the same, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think this is the place for you. I agree that girls can do everything they want to do the same way as boys can do everything that they want to do, but it's just not ideal for them. It is not ideal for you. It's good to find a partner that is going to be a lifting partner, a partner that's gonna help you grow, a partner that, um, I enjoy as a man having to do the things in the house, building stuff and doing all that stuff. The same way I enjoy when I come home and my partner is super loving and caring, and even though I didn't ask for it, she made a meal for me and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's how it should be. I'm just saying what happens in my relationship and I love it, you know? And I think me as a man, I don't expect any of these things. I never asked for any of these things. And they came naturally. And our relationship didn't come from knowing how to behave already. It was a it was a growing relationship, and it was a very hurt one when it started, and not with us but with all the traumas we had personally and individually, uh, prior to our relationship. And so it took a lot of time, it took a little bit of breaks for us to figure that out and to move forward and understand what was happening, and that we are not in our same past relationships, and that this might be a good one, so why not give it an actual try. And so this is for all the men out there or boys out there that are still acting like the guy that you think is a man. Maybe you follow someone that does that. You think that's a man because he's got tattoos and is swole and has got all the guns and a big truck and stuff like that. And that's not that's so far from a man. That makes you cool. And my pastor, uh, Joby, Joe Martin, he was literally explaining that. He was showing that example. It was like, hey, listen, I have all these things. That doesn't make me a man. That makes me cool, but not a man. And I can't agree more. It's just it's just true. And that's just how it is. And so I think, with that being said, today we need to not attack anyone that's pushing this feminism, or on this side, or the toxic masculinity people out there. I don't think we need to attack them, but I think we need to guide them. I think there's a lot of young guys that are following the wrong people. They have the wrong, like, idols, and we need to guide them towards the right one. And for me, it's Jesus. I Even if you're not a Christian, which I am, but even if you're not, what Jesus shows you in the Bible of how to live and how to be a man and how to be a wife, how to be a husband, it really truly, if you read it, not if someone tells you, because people can change things. You don't understand how many times I've heard of the verse that people use it to do wrong, that says, wives, love, submit to your husbands. You don't understand how many times I've heard that from people, including my partner. She had told me once about it, and she was like, and I was like, fair. But in order for that to happen, you need to read the whole thing and read the context. So in that Bible verse, right after that, it says, husbands, love your wife like Jesus loved the church. And he gave himself up for it, for her. Only then your wife is going to submit to you. And it's going to happen naturally, not because you tell her to, because that's not going to work out. That is not going to work out. I promise you that. You need to be that husband. We're not going to be like Jesus exactly, but that is a great example to follow. That's a great example to follow. Jesus was the lion and the lamb. It was both. And so, even if you're not a Christian, I encourage you to read that and learn from it. If you're struggling with it, learn about it. It's going to help you. Because when, as a man, and to all the boys out there that want to be a husband, and maybe if you're struggling with this, if you do your part, like I did with my partner when she was still struggling with certain traumas or whatever that she had, just we all have them. But as much as I could and as best as I could, I try to do my part and just be patient with her, be patient in the relationship, try to do my part, and try to love her like Jesus loved the church as much as I could. Obviously, I can't do it like him because Jesus, but I tried. And today I could tell you, I cannot ask for a better relationship or a better partner. And that is because I was just patient. I prayed for it and I did my part. I have flaws, I made mistakes, but I made sure since the beginning. I told her, hey, I want to be a better person every day. I will fail. And you can tell me and help me out when I fail, so I can learn from it, figure out why it happened, and be a better person. And that is the partner you want. Because then you create a team. And it's you both growing together. Learn how to communicate with each other. The screaming back is never going to help. Like, if your partner screams at you, the only way you're going to fix that and get rid of that is not going to be screaming back and scaring that partner. It's going to be lowering your voice even more and be like, hey, you're over here. I'm not going up there. That's that's not me. I am not going up there. So I'm gonna be down here. I love you. But wait until you're down here and then we can communicate. Well, you go here, she's here, then I go here. Then she goes here, and then I go here. And then it's just a build up. And then it's just gonna blow up. So let's let's work on that. I think the world is gonna be a lot better if we have stronger men. Stronger men. Not stronger boys, not physically, not financially, even though a stronger man means it's gonna work hard every day. But I don't mean money is everything. So not I'm talking about physically, I'm talking about financially, I'm talking about mentally and spiritually. Self-control, self-love. It's very important. Very important. And then for you both to understand that you might have been hurt in the past, but maybe the partner that you have right now is not trying to hurt you. It's trying to build you up. So sometimes if there's rough conversations, he's not trying to hurt you, she's not trying to hurt you. They're trying to build you up and make you a better person. To all my feminists out there, if that's what happened to you, if you got hurt, if it was bad people in your family and your friends and your partner, your partners, your past partners, I am sorry. I am sorry, but you were not dating a man. You were not. And so, what you should do now is heal from that and look for a man. And I promise you, if you look for a true man, a God fearing man, someone that doesn't use the Bible for their advantage, but actually sometimes even against them, just because they know that they are nowhere near perfect and they want to be better, then you found a man. Someone that's going to work hard, someone that's going to protect you, someone that will do anything for you. and that will never, ever, ever touch you. And for my boys out there, listen, I was going there at some point in my life. I thought that was what meant. Being strong, being rough, being the bully. And so I was doing fighting, Muay Thai, learning all this, getting ripped in the gym, and until I realized and I learned, uh, freaking mosquito. What the heck? Whatever. It was a mosquito. It just like kicked me. They didn't want me to keep talking. Uh, and then I realized that was not it. That was not it. And I was getting attention back then when I was showing I was ripped and I knew how to fight. So because of that, I was very like confident out there. And yes, I'll get girls to get my attention, but those were also not healed girls because usually the hurt girls, the ones with traumas, are the ones looking for those trouble guys too. And so until you don't fix that, you're also not gonna find a good partner. And guess what? It all goes downhill if you stay there. It all goes downhill. And that's where all these people are already on their extremes nowadays. Because they don't have a right someone to follow and to be there. Like learn their examples and their way of life, their way of living. They just see what's on the internet nowadays and what's showing and popping the views and all that stuff. And that's not gonna work out. It's just not. So I have other people that I follow that I like, that have good values, and I learn from them. I have the Bible that helps me out, and I'm growing every day. And I want to be a better man every day. And I promise you, I was very independent. I was living by myself for a long time, and I was doing everything by myself. But when I tell you that when I found the right partner, my life just got easier and happier and more like way like so much peace. So much peace. So I encourage you guys to, if you don't want to believe me, but you watch this whole thing, just go ahead and find other people that you think are like this and ask them what works for them, what doesn't work for them. Am I right? Am I wrong? And you'll see that there is a blessing in understanding each other's roles and knowing that when they blend in together, it's just that much better. Like in the Bible says, women came from the men, but the man comes from women, right? So that's just, we are so, we can't live without each other. We literally can't. If we don't have one of each, we literally cannot reproduce. We literally need to blend in physically, spiritually, mentally. For that, we need our roles that go together. Women are way better at men at many things, the same way men are way better at women at many things. And that is just true, and that is fine, and that is beautiful. So, with that being said, I hope you guys do your research, and I hope you guys learn, and I hope this helped you. Please um, give me a like, drop in the comments, whatever comments you have about it, good, bad. I don't really like whatever it is. I don't mind. I'll read it. And if you have questions, more private questions or whatever, you can ask me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, whatever. I don't mind. You can ask me anything. Hope you have a great day. I love you and God bless you. And I hope to see you in the next one.